Nicola Lester, welcome to Catching Up with Kurt. Thanks for joining me.
Thanks, Kurt.
Now we're at a conference, annual conference, which
Yes.
only rolls around every 18 months.
Yep.
How have we found it?
This one's awesome.
Yep.
Really, really good. I'm loving this year's focus on mindset,
Yep.
growth mindset, fixed mindset, and I think in a company that is rapidly growing, in an industry that has so much potential, all of our team learning about those limiting beliefs versus growth mindset, I think it's going to be a game changer.
Very exciting. Eddie, thanks for catching up with Kurt, mate.
No worries, mate.
Great to see you,
be
mate.
here.
Mate, we're at the annual conference. What are you getting out of the day?
Mate, look, for someone that's probably, I think I've been at Protech now for 6 months,
Yeah.
it's probably the first part of it is actually just matching some names to some people you're talking on the phone and some faces and probably just getting to know the rest of the people in Protech and you know, understanding how much this place is growing in such a short period of time.
Yeah.
And the other part has been great in terms of Mark just mapping out the path that Protech is heading, which is obviously a really positive thing. And obviously we're halfway through, mate, so there's still a bit to go.
Yeah. Shaun, Michelle,
Hi.
thanks for catching up with Kurt.
Pleasure.
Now you're the facilitators of the Protech Conference, huge event, obviously. Tell us a little bit about your background, how you got into what you're doing today.
Yeah, well, Shaun and I both have had totally different backgrounds in terms of professional experience before we got into this industry. And before we were doing corporate events and corporate training, which we do now, we have our own business. So for myself, I spent over a decade in education. So I started my career as a high school teacher in history and English originally, and then eventually was a head of department and head of teaching and learning. So I was responsible for the teaching and learning across the school and professional development of teachers. So I really moved from teaching teachers to then now doing more training and teaching with adults across corporate industries.
Enjoying that?
Love it.
Yeah, love
Yeah.
that. Shaun, yourself?
Yeah, so when I first left school, I studied economics, but I also went to acting school.
Right.
And so I spent my 20s trying to find a way to combine those two very different interests, business and economics and all that sort of stuff, and working with groups of people. And so that's sort of how this has led to this, basically.
I mean, Protech's a really enjoyable company to work for yourself, great culture. What are some of the good messages you're telling all us employees today?
Well, first of all, we're starting to really try to talk about the 5 behaviours. So we knew that the theme for the conference was Thrive,
Yep.
and then we talked to the sort of management committee who are looking at organising this event, and they really came up with the 5 behaviours that they thought were most important for moving them into that next phase of growth.
Sure.
So it's really about, you know, being able to use your voice, embrace risks, making sure you're being positive in your intent with the way you speak, and wanting to learn new things.
There's plenty of comparisons, mate, between business and sport. I've seen a lot of sporting stars go to business luncheons and speak, business people speaking to teams or sporting teams. What have you brought from your professional playing career into your life at Protech now?
Well, look, probably in my role as an account manager is, you know, the synergy between the importance of really good relationships with people, whether it be internally and obviously externally, whether it be, you know, you're dealing with candidates, you're dealing with clients. Probably the biggest things that I've got out of it that I've worked really hard on is, you know, really forming strong relationships with people to build trust. And then once you're able to do that, that's when you can start doing some really good things.
Yeah, I mean, I love helping people. And at Protech, our purpose is to be a positive influence in people's lives. I get to live something that is just so fundamentally core to my values. So every day you come to work and we've helped so many people better their lives, you know, support their families, and
Very rewarding.
super rewarding.
Thanks for catching up with Kurt. Over the next few weeks, we're going to be chatting with our founder of Protech, Mark Mealy, to hear his story. Be sure to tune in. Cheers.